So today we are going to react to a Goatis video about Brian Johnson. So, as you don't know, guys, this Goatis, I don't know how his name is even pronounced, is this guy, is just all about just promoting eating natural and being natural and eating a carnivore diet, that type of stuff. So, let's see what this idiot has to say.
Hi, today I'm going to discuss the latest news surrounding Brian Johnson and his illness.
Bro, look at the sarcastic, cynical tone he's using here to mock Brian Johnson.
Firstly, I will review his latest video about it, and then I will explain what's actually going on.
Why do you speak so slowly, motherfucker? Speak fucking faster. You speak like a fucking psychopath.
Before we start,
by the way, this guy actually is a psychopath. He actually stabbed his classmates.
Let's check out the thumbnail.
This guy's fucking sick in his head.
Is saturated, it has contrast, it's somewhat sharp, there's visible details, and now let's click on the video.
Hey friend.
The saturation and the contrast are gone. It's somewhat blurry. His editing team...
Does that like fucking matter? Does that fucking matter, bro? Why are you pointing out these like micro details that have nothing to do with any of the arguments that Brian Johnson or you have against Brian Johnson? Because you don't have a fucking single point to say about his whole situation and what he should have or shouldn't have done in his life.
Does this because they don't want you to see the way he really looks like. Of course, in real life, it would be a whole different story. Why does he still do this? I assume that he will talk about...
That's classic ad hominem attack. Oh, you're so ugly, bro. You couldn't possibly be healthy. You couldn't possibly be smart or intelligent. That's just like a classic horse effect ad hominem attack on this guy, without actually attacking a single fucking point that Brian has ever made about improving health and longevity.
His illness in the video, why doesn't he now show us the way he really looks like?
What, are you blind? Fucking look at him, you fucking idiot.
It's strange that he still doesn't want to show how sick his protocol made him.
Hey friends, so I've got some bad news. I got diagnosed with an autoimmune condition and my stomach is eating itself. We just found out about this diagnosis last month when I did a bidirectional endoscopy, which means it's a colonoscopy and also you go down the throat as well.
I will talk about this afterwards, but this diagnosis is not scientific, meaning that you cannot actually observe what exactly caused this.
When do you support science, Goatis? When do you care about science? Don't you care about the exact opposite of not listening to doctors, of not listening to authority on advice?
So-called illness.
So looking at my entire intestinal tract. And so this is actually something that I was diagnosed with when I was 21 years old. I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism. And so I started taking hormones to modulate my thyroid, but the thyroid and the stomach actually pair really well together in immunology. So when you have a problem with the thyroid, you sometimes have a problem with the stomach. There's actually a clinical name for it. And so I didn't know this thing was happening inside my stomach. But what happens is, so think of your immune system like you have trillions of soldiers. Each one.
It's very unlikely that he didn't feel anything. Why did he get a biopsy? People don't just randomly do that.
Yeah, because he's a fucking millionaire or billionaire biohacker. Why wouldn't he do all types of tests that are out there to test, his entire body and how it functions and organ function, liver function, kidney function, stomach function, gut function. There are so many processes that have to be tested if you really want to take biohacking seriously. You cannot just test one part, one system. You have to go and you have to test almost everything, and you have to be really precise with what you're testing.
More likely that he actually felt something, which is why he did the tests. And It really has to be pointed out that he doesn't look well. He never did. It only got worse over the years. But
Where's the proof of that, Goatis? Or are you just claiming some bizarre, unproven claim? I didn't notice anything, personally, with Brian Johnson. Nothing has dramatically changed about his appearance. So shut the fuck up and stop fucking lying.
right now, no matter how much he tries to hide it, maybe he's wearing makeup also, he just looks very unhealthy.
One is an immune cell, and they have a specific key. And this key is designed to destroy a specific target, like a virus or a bacteria. Some of my immune cells, some of these warriors, went rogue. And instead of attacking a foreign threat, they started attacking my own stomach.
As I said, I will explain everything about it afterwards, but this is just a hypothesis that really has to be understood. It's very important.
And that's why this
So why should we listen to your advice, Goatis? Isn't your advice also a hypothesis? Where do you have a proof that your style of, eating a diet, your type of, living, style of living and eating is the healthiest one? Where's the evidence for that? Oh, you're just claiming it. Oh, you're now someone who knows exactly. You know better than all these stupid scientists. I have the evidence. They don't know something I know. The arrogance, you can see just the arrogance is just incredible here. The arrogance of Goatis is obviously bizarre. I can just tell.
process is eating my stomach. And so what this does is it changes my stomach acidity. So I can't actually process certain things. Like, for example, I can't process.
This is a classic triangulation, fuck him, fuck the science, but listen to me. Because I know exactly what is true. I know exactly what works. I know exactly, what's objectively good or healthy or natural. And by the way, just because it's fucking natural or not doesn't make it bad or good, Goatis.
Iron. So if I were to eat food with iron or take supplements, I can't absorb it into my body. And so it leads to nutritional deficiencies, anemia, and even it can create risk of cancer. And so what happened is, a lot of people, they look at my protocol and they'll say, this is insane. You've been measuring yourself so much over the past couple of years. Like, how is it possible you missed this? It's actually a really hard one. And I'll give you some context because I think it's relevant for each one of you. So looking
It's actually really simple.
back, I can now piece.
So tell it, Goatis. If it's so simple, why don't you explain it with one word? Why don't you explain it with one answer? If it's so simple, why do you have to make a 40-minute long video debunking, or seems like you debunks the points that Brian Johnson makes?
Together the puzzle. So I've had low iron, low ferritin for 11 years. And it's very common in medicine for doctors to see this, and they see other markers like your hemoglobin and your hematocrit to say, those are normal, therefore you're not anemic, so you must be okay.
It's very important to understand that these so-called markers are surrogate markers. Most people don't understand this. They actually really take them seriously. I'm not saying that they mean nothing, but it's still surrogate markers.
But low iron is something you
What is this word what does this word mean? Is this just word salad, or is this word legit? Does it actually exist? Because what does he mean by this weird words? Sorry, wait, let me just rewind again. What did he just say?
They actually really take them seriously. I'm not saying that they mean nothing, but it's still surrogate markers.
Surrogate? What does that fucking mean? I just don't know, man.
But low iron is something you really want to look into. And so I just revamped my medical care team.
Obviously, he's going to claim they don't mean anything because he obviously doesn't believe in science. He's also a flat earther. He literally believes that the world is flat. So you're not actually claiming anything about science, Goatis, because you don't even believe in science. You believe in your own fucking pseudoscience, which is just a fucking piece of garbage ideology and philosophy that has no logical basis in it.
Just to be clear, in case you don't understand what I'm saying, at the very best, all that you can do is draw correlations When you
There we go, Goatis. Classic attack. Correlation does not equal causation. So, how do you know that eating a carnivore diet is causally related to being healthier? Voila! You don't! You're just correlating it with how you feel, idiot.
look at these surrogate markers, most of which are measured through chemical reactions, meaning that you are not dealing with empirical evidence, science. It's also strange that they set up two cameras, I assume, because he's looking into a different camera, right? It's so indirect. Shouldn't
It's so passive aggressive. He's not looking me in the eyes, in my demonic eyes. He's afraid of me. He's afraid of my ideology. He's afraid of my philosophy. He's afraid of me as a person. He's afraid to tell me directly in my face what he thinks about this whole situation. Bro, just shut the fuck up. How is this like irrelevant? How does this have any relevancy to what the Brian Johnson's like saying? Like his points about science, his situation.
he be talking to us? Instead, he doesn't even look at the camera, and he hides the way he looks like.
Your colon looks great. And so, as you'd expect, I said, okay, doctor, but I need a percentile. So what percentile would you put me in all men of a colon? He said, yeah, 95th percentile. He said, it's clean, it's great. So that was great. But then this is the thing. This is where this disease hides. So you can do a colonoscopy. The doctor can go there and inspect and not identify that you have this autoimmune condition. So what my doctors had done with foresight is they said, we're going to biopsy various samples inside your stomach so that if there's a problem that can't be detected visually, we'll find it in the biopsy. And so we did the biopsy, we had came back, and there it was. So it's a hard, so first you have the gate of low iron is not taken as seriously as it should, even though you should point at this colonoscopy. But the second layer is even a colonoscopy didn't detect it. It was only from a biopsy, which we found it. But now it kind of completes a puzzle where hypothyroidism was diagnosed at 21. It pairs with the stomach. So I've had this autoimmune condition for potentially 20 plus years.
A biopsy means that they go into your body, so to speak, through your throat, and they essentially cut a very tiny piece of your stomach lining, and then they do tests on it. They examine it.
Where it slowly
Wow, I'm kind of surprised this guy researched this.
eats away my stomach. So I guess the good news is a lot of people think of getting a diagnosis is bad, which certainly, like, none of us want a diagnosis. But I kind of feel energized by this. I feel excited by the diagnosis because I would so much rather know now than I would find out down the road when it's like, now it's creating cancer in your stomach. You know, I can do something about it. Knowing about it allows you to do things earlier. And so I'm very excited. So
By the way, Goatis probably doesn't even believe in like diseases or cells, and even mitochondria. He doesn't even believe that ATP exists. Fucking clown.
yes, my stomach is eating itself, and that's also what makes me excited about it, because up until this point, I think people, like, when you get a diagnosis like this, the standard of care is, so sorry.
The thing is that he actually truly believes that it's not as if his stomach is actually eating itself. The biggest problem with Brian is that he blindly believes all of the so-called experts. He has his so-called team there, and they tell him how to exercise, what to eat, and so on. Although I doubt that they would actually recommend eating a vegan diet. That was for sure his choice. But seeing as they are getting paid, they will say that it's possible to eat a healthy vegan diet because that's what they learned in school. It's understandable. My point is simply that if he wouldn't blindly listen to all of the people, and if instead he would simply listen to his body, his nature, then he wouldn't have experienced these problems. But it seems as if he's stuck there.
You know,
Wow, this guy's a fucking idiot. He's like saying, oh, listen to your own body, listen to how you feel when you eat something, when you take that, when you take this. Well, guess what? Brian Johnson just said in the beginning of this video that you can have no symptoms of a disease, and then suddenly you can have a problem. fucking stupid ass bitch.
Let's manage this so that it doesn't, like, as best we can, let's manage it. But really, it's just you're conceding to the disease. No matter if it's fatal, you're just like, sorry, we can't do much about it. But now with our new tools of AI and biotech, we don't have to concede anymore. When I get the...
And he really truly believes that there's a way around nature, that you can live an unnatural life, eat unnatural food, and still somehow be healthy. And if you're not healthy, then you can find a way around it through this modern technology. That's really an insane mindset.
Wow, Goatis. So what is this type of argument? Because it's natural, it's good, and because it's unnatural, it's bad. Classic naturalistic fallacy. Idiots. Really, I'm just fucking amused by no, there's no counter argument made by Goatis' side to debunk the point that Brian Johnson just made about AI. Because how is this an argument? It's like saying, oh, drugs don't work, medications don't work, because they're drugs, because they're man-made, they're not made by human hands. Bro, this is just not an argument. I'm sorry, this is just not a counter-argument to anything. He's not even arguing against anything. He's just trying to make an audience think how shocking that sounds. It's always about pretending that someone says something shocking, and that's why they're wrong, because what they're saying, it sounds bizarre, it sounds shocking, it sounds so wrong, it sounds so outlandish, but that's a classical, it's not necessarily ad hominem, but it's a classical sort of move by people who want to discredit you, by people who want to devalue your point. They don't attack the actual point. They don't attack the actual logical argument. They attack how it sounds socially, the stigma, the sort of the bizarreness in the comment, the bizarreness in the words that Brian Johnson used. And so people like to weaponize this.
So my first thought was, we're going to solve it. Like, we are absolutely going to solve this. Now, it has never been cured. There is no known cure. So it's a really good challenge for us as a team.
And the problem is so obvious. I will talk about it. I just wanted to show you
it's so obvious, bro. Why don't you just get it? It's so simple. It's so easy.
Saying about it first.
We did immediately.
We are so stupid. We don't know the actual truth. But it's so obvious. Don't you see it? I know it.
I had 1 million of my immune cells sequenced. So we went in, I did this massive blood draw. We did 1 million of my immune cells, and we look at each individual immune cell. It's actually an amazing technology. We have that ability to do it. And then we look at each.
In case you don't know, you cannot observe a so-called cell, immune cell, or whatever kind of cell, just like that in its natural state. It does.
So what? Is that any? How does that disprove the existence of a cell, Goatis? It's like the classic argument: what you see, what you cannot sense, doesn't exist. It has no existence to it. It has no reality to it. It's not real. It's false. It's a lie. It's a delusion. It's somehow magic. It's somehow, it's not real, I guess, because I cannot see it. I cannot touch it. I cannot lick it with my fucking ass mouth. I cannot lick it. That's a stupid ass argument, Goatis, because that does not disprove the existence or logic behind an object.
Doesn't exist. You can use chemicals to then try to observe something which you assume is a cell. Yes, that's possible, even under a normal light microscope. But you cannot observe such a thing as a cell. And that's why you cannot do scientific experiments or anything.
It's possible, but it's not. But you cannot observe it, but it's possible. But it's constant. Like, what are you trying to say, Goatis? You haven't debunked anything. You haven't solved this problem. You haven't found a solution that solves Brian Johnston's problem. Like, really, shut the fuck up. You haven't got it put together, Goatis. You don't know the truth. You don't know the reality. You don't know how the world works, okay? You are just a guy in his room, whatever, in his basement, who just yaps some nonsense.
Related to it when it comes to the immune cells in his case. People don't understand this.
Each of the immune cells key. We say, who are you? And by doing this, we'll take that information, then we'll do a second biopsy. So I have to go under again. We'll do a live biopsy of my stomach. We'll take those cells and then match them to the data, and we say, who of you?
He says cells. In reality, you are taking stomach tissue that has to be understood.
Are the rogue immune cells attacking me?
What is the stomach tissue made out of, Goatis? Is it made out of banana? Is it made out of raw meat? Is it made out of my fucking bag? Is it made out of collagen? Is it made out of peptides? What is a tissue, Goatis? How was it just magically created? Was it a god? Was it some kind? Was it the nature? Was it the clouds, the trees, the grass? What made my arms, Goatis? What created them? Obviously it was fucking stem cells, you idiot.
And once we have those signatures, we know who they are, we can then design...
Because stem cells are literally the building block for life, Goatis. It's basic logic. It's not even basic science. It's fucking basic logic. It's common sense. Yet you pretended to not understand it because poor Goatis, he's just trapped in his own world where there's only nature, and nature explains everything, and nature is behind all creations. It's a type of god, a type of religion that you claim to not believe in, Goatis. You are an atheist, am I right?
Solutions to say, we're going to stop you from doing these attacks internally. In the meantime...
So obviously I'm going to make a part two of this video, of this reaction to this video. So yeah, I have to just turn off the camera.